Hi everyone, welcome to Unlocking the Steppe, the podcast where students dig into the stories behind Kazakhstan's most fascinating archaeological finds. Today we have got a mix of mountains, ancient rituals, and one surprisingly famous flower.
Yep, by the end of this episode, you will know why a carved tulip in the Ziltao Mountains is more than just a plant, and how a copper cauldron from a burial mound ended up revealing a whole layer of steppe culture.
Let's start in the Zoltao Mountains. The landscape there is already impressive on its own. But what really grabs attention is a petroglyph of Frank's tulip. You don't usually see plants depicted in rock art from that era, especially not a tulip.
Yep, exactly. Tulip shrinki isn't just any flower. It's one of the oldest tulip species in the world and considered the ancestor of many modern tulip breeds. It blooms only for about 2 weeks each spring, then disappears again for a whole year.
Which already makes it feel symbolic. Imagine ancient artists carving an image of a flower that appears briefly, then vanishes. Maybe it means renewal, or beauty that doesn't last, or maybe it was connected to some seasonal ritual.
The carving itself is surprisingly detailed. You can see the elongated petals and the recognizable silhouette that botanists still identify today. It suggests that the artist wasn't drawing some sort of plant, but this specific tulip as if it held cultural value.
And it probably did. The Chotao region has petroglyphs from several cultural periods: Bronze Age communities, early nomadic groups, Turkic tribes. The tulip image stands out among hunted scenes and animals, showing how people paid attention not only to wildlife, but also to the seasonal rhythm of nature.
It kind of shows ancient ecological thinking right, like acknowledging the role of rare plants in local identity. Today, tulip is even considered one of Kazakhstan's botanical symbols, and here it's already carved into stone centuries ago.
Now let's move to the second artifact, an ancient copper cauldron of the Semirechye type, found in burial mound in central Kazakhstan. And yes, the burial included a sacrificial horse.
These cauldrons are truly iconic. They were used by early steppe nomads, often during rituals, feasts, or prestige objects. The one found in central Kazakhstan stands out because it was discovered inside a burial alongside a horse, which already hints at the ceremonial context.
The Semirechye style cauldrons are usually massive, with thick walls and rounded bottoms. Some have loop-shaped handles or projection for hanging above a fire. They are connected to communal meals and gatherings, which were important for cementing alliances or making major events.
Placing such a cauldron in a burial wasn't accidental. It's like burying a person with a key symbol of their social role. Maybe the deceased was a leader, a host of ritual ceremonies, or someone responsible for communal feasts.
The sacrificial horse gives even more context. Horses were central to status, warfare, migration, basically everything. A horse burial shows high social rank and deep ritual meaning, especially if the horse was placed carefully and intentionally.
Archaeologists note that a combination of a copper cauldron and a horse suggests a connection to foreign trophies, possibly a farewell ceremony where the cauldron was used for preparing ritual food. After the ceremony, the cauldron was buried with the person as a symbol of their identity.
And copper itself wasn't cheap. Producing such a cauldron required skills, resources, and time. So, it's also an indicator of a long distance context. The technology and style links the fine tooth hierarchy, showing that groups across the steppe shared traditions and exchanging objects.
At first glance, a stone tulip and a copper cauldron don't seem connected, but together they show two sides of early steppe life.
The tulip petroglyph captures the relationship between humans and the natural world. The seasonal rhythm, the admiration for rare plants, the sense of beauty tied to the landscape.
And the cauldron with the horse reflects social structure, ritual practice, and how people honored their deed, with symbolic objects that carried meaning even into the afterlife.
Both finds tell us that ancient communities are not just surviving. They celebrated, created, observed, and passed down stories. They had rituals, aesthetics, and symbols, from blooming flowers to ceremonial feasts.
That's all for today's episode of Unlocking the Steppe. If you enjoyed traveling from the rocks of Jeltau to the Bural Mountains of Central Kazakhstan with us, stay tuned, more student-made exploration are coming.
Thanks for listening. Until next time, keep discovering the stories hidden in the landscape.